Morning, guys. I have queued for Arena Draft. It took 1 second to launch. I've gone AFK in that 1 second because I had better things to do than wait. Hey, JSM Film. Pumped for more magic. Guess I could turn the webcam on this morning. Glad to hear. Alright. Pack 1, pick 1. Best card in the pack. Gifted Aetherborn? Lightning Strike, maybe? Best color in the pack, green. How excited are we by a gem killer? Gem Razor, whatever it's called. Pretty lightly. So first Iron Games is 3 mana. Generate a 1/1 that draws removal, followed by get a token 3 turns later. A treasure token. It's okay. Plenty of targets for this. Lightning Strike. Aetherborn. Aetherborn gets played in exactly 1 deck. Lightning Strike gets played in a lot of decks. You can play these other cards in a few more decks. I'm going to take this card because it's the power level thing for me. But maybe it's so replaceable that I don't need it. It'll dehydrogenase. Alright, green. Punish the immediate hard punish for not picking the green card. We'll take the best green card. We'll take the best card in the pack, which is also a green card. I can look at Midnight Clock from Max Gandalfing. The Visitation for the memes. And that's about it. This is for tokens. It's quite a nice card for tokens, for the, not tokens, for counters rather, but and there's a counter deck in this format. Just have to find it. Alright. Interesting pack a little bit. Have some discussion, thought process. So best removal in the pack is Scorching Dragonfire. Disfigure is a fine black card. Beetle is a fine green card, especially if you end up like green-red or something like that. I like Inscription, although I'm not sure it's pickable here. And Dryad tends to win games in a stalled board state. So these are all pretty solid.
Manual breathing protocol.
Oh, Fudginator. Manual breathing protocol. Oh yeah, exactly, right. Got to make those lungs inflate and deflate. It's pointless, but helps with the appearance. I can replace Dryad or Horn Beetle with quite a lot of other things. I don't know if I can replace Inscription, but often wheels. I might even take the Dryad here. Okay. Thank you, B. Alright, how's the punish looking? Moderate punish. Got green-black duel, although we're not looking to splash Aetherborn. It's just a black card. It's Helm, Egon, which I don't like. Command the Dread Horde, Old Growth Troll, and Kenra. This pack is terrible. I think the best card in it is the Rune Blaster. I'll take, it's actually funny, this is the better duel. But a black-white duel is fine. It is the color you most often want to splash in your mono-black deck if you end up there. Sometimes we want to put black in our green decks too, but not very often. I'm going to take the Courtyard, and if I wheel Kenra, I'm okay with it. If I don't, I'm also okay with it. Yeah. Seems like a weird one, but I'm not actually sure I'm in green yet. I just have my best cards are just green thus far. That's confusing. Gutter Bones is the black card, but we're not necessarily anywhere near that. We just keep doubling down on that. There's a Golos here. It's very early for Golos. It's like pack 5, pick 5. The Golos goes in the green deck, kinda. It won't go in the black deck nearly. We can take it and see. The cost is really cheap because the rest of the cards in this pack really suck. All speed is quite good in the mono white deck, same with Legion's Landing, but not very good anywhere else. Gutter Bones is fine in the black deck or a black-red sack recursion deck. Elspeth's Nightmare is something that's okay, but it's not so exciting that we care that much. Borga with the resub, thank you very much. Welcome back, 21 months. So we'll grab Golos. Phoenix is a great card. Feed the Swarm's been pretty flexible. Vandal, I've been under. I don't know if between Vandal and Reclamation Sage, they're both quite good, and they're both in green. Red seems very open, but red's always open. No one ever takes red in this format because they hate nice things. This guy is cheap as hell. The Exile is nice. We can remove gods with the Exile. I've been on Reclamation Sage above and beyond Vandal because I like how this is a 2-1 body. We could mix it up. There's also a Kiora. Kiora's okay, although we don't know what the fuck we're playing with it yet. We'll take Vandal here. Move towards green a little bit. Green-black duel. Sovereign Skyship. Pick 7 of the first pack. Leaving me to wonder if I'm even playing against sentient opponents. Forget humans or bots. There's just no way this card should still be here. I don't care what the fuck was else in this pack. So we'll take the Skyship because it's by far the best card in that pack. It can be played in any deck. Literally any deck. Okay. Enjoyed Monday? Thanks, Dr. Nobody. What was it about Monday that you enjoyed, just out of curiosity? I'll play Blossoming Defense for playing green. We are playing green. Red's wide open. This is the best card in the pack by a million miles. Icy's fine in this format, but it's a bit slow. Is it better than Blossoming Defense? Probably. Am I going to take it? I don't know, man. I don't want to play it. And I would play this as a 1-mana trick. I like having a little bit of green protection interaction. This is, again, could be in any deck, though. I don't know that we're green. We're probably green, though. Green-blue helps with Golos. They wield Bastion. Spring to Mind. Also fairly playable as Acceleration and Mana Fixing. There's a Bone Splitter Axe, which is okay, but not terribly exciting here. Are we ever going to be able to play the flip side on this? Maybe? A little hungover? I'm not. I'm still tired. I woke up early this morning to drop the car off to get a tow hitch put on it. White-green dual, Shockland, black-green dual, million Mirms and red cards. We're not very recursive right now. Okay. This card is wheeling, huh? Okay. I guess I could have been picking up red cards too. The best cards have been red cards. Maybe I should have been. I don't know why I'm stuck on black in my head. It's because I haven't drafted in a few days and I picked a black card early. Kiora wheeled.
Dive right into battle.
Okay. All right. Pack 2. Mythos, the best card. Reclamation has some serious power plays in this format. The Heartless Act has been excellent removal in this format. Cheap. Instant speed. Hits almost everything. This is my least favorite of the mana dorks. But it's still a mana dork. And it's still a mana dork on 2 in our primary color. There's nothing else I want for this deck. I don't even know what our second color is yet. It could be blue, it could be black, it could be red. You know, Mythos is the strongest card, but are we really wanting to play a Simic core? I really don't want to play Simic core. Okay. We have our free Golos? Yeah. We got here early enough. The supplies hadn't run out yet, and they were still handing out free Goloses. Like, pick 5, no contest, like, no good cards in the pack, so literally a free pick. Here, the best card in the pack in our color is also the card that we would most like to pick up here, which is Visionary. It's just an easy pick. It's just better than everything else in here. Here's a look at Karuga, who can be okay. Sometimes a bit of a win more. Sometimes doesn't do anything. Crab's been really good for the mill decks, but green acceleration is good everywhere. I end up in green a lot because it's the best color in this format. So acceleration is strong in this format, and green has just really good both payoffs as well as acceleration. Now, I don't think we're going to get our pick 8 Stonehenge, but maybe. Mammoth is pretty flexible. Ram Through is removal in green, which is hard to come by. There's a green-black-white dual, a green-white pathway, and a red-white pathway. Serpent's been overperforming for me, which is nice. We didn't wheel that green inscription last pack. That kind of sucks. I was really hoping that would come back around. Ram Through can be clunky too, because if you don't have the creature, it's not really removal. We don't know our second color yet. Kind of happy with Mammoth though. Other streamers are playing Strix? I don't think so, Bo. So, I doubt it. Yeah. Hey, dude from K. So back for more if we play the black-green stuff.
Just joined.
There's a Toski in pure green. Loris is quite good. I don't like the red cards in here. I'll take a Toski. We're not very Toski-esque right now, but maybe. I don't really like back for more. I feel like I always just pick the same cards. Take Harvester. There's no, there's really cheap red removal, but we don't know if we're playing red. There's no good black, green, or red cards, particularly in this pack, besides the Shock. This card's okay. Seal Away is fine. If we're in white, we have white mana, we could play it, but Harvester's really good. Late Laris, maybe. There's a Garrick in our colors. The card is fine. Performs fine in this format. It's a very cheap Planeswalker. 3/3s are okay. Happy to see it.
You're ready to fight for your life.
Red green dual and a Sarkhan's Unsealing and a Green Seeker. It's not really an Unsealing deck, is it? I like the Green Seeker just fine. It's a tap dual. I'll play Green Seeker. It's too slow in this format. It almost never gets good value, but it's fine. Creature-based acceleration, or not creature, non-creature-based acceleration on 2. We already have quite a few mana dorks. I don't know what fucking color we're looking second. At the moment it's looking pretty red, although it could just be mono green. I love Lannery. She is a mana accelerant, which is fucking sick. Some more duels let us get to Golos, but this doesn't really feel like a Golos deck to me yet. It's a Squee and a Mythos, because the players are like, fuck picking the good cards in this pack. This card, to be fair, this card is a hidden good card, because you have to think for a second and see it used to realize how good it is. And then it has way too much text on it to really get any sense of what the fuck's happening. So a lot of times you're like, what? I don't want to deal with this card.
With TTS and get banned sometimes. Thank you for the ability to call someone a filthy mod and to call me a filthy sub. I mean, keep up the good work.
You get banned for using my emotes, Chili Willy? Where did you get banned for using my emotes? Now I want to know. I'll take Kariga over the 3 mana accelerant. I'll take the Ram through as it wheeled. I don't think we're playing red. I don't think we're playing Golos right now, chat, but we'll see. We want to throw things at people? No. But sometimes we think about wanting to throw things at people. Okay. No one can read in this draft? Look, I don't want to talk about the average player of any game or any community. But if COVID has taught me one thing, it's that I was vastly overestimating the intelligence and empathy and actual caring of people around me. So we can just agree that I was wrong and move on. All right, if we're mono green, we need Explore. If we're playing red, the Berserker's nice. I don't want to play Reclaimer, although Reclaimer does fix for Golos. And Kaya, if we're playing white-black, chat. I'm pretty sure we're far away from white-black at this point. I guess this is the Explore and be happy. Okay. All right, we have some fixing. It's in really ugly colors. Preserver's fine in mono green. We might be able to naturally accelerate out Ulamog. I'm not sure that's an exciting outcome. Is there any way I can play red with those free red cards I picked up? JC Denton with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Our fixing is so bad right now. Is it greedy? Only if you don't understand what greedy means. So greedy is about taking in Magic, greedy refers almost exactly to one thing, and it's doing a higher value play at the cost of tempo is generally what greedy refers to. And sometimes it can be, I guess in drafting, sometimes it can be taking a card you're not sure that you can play. It doesn't necessarily make your deck better or work with your deck, but maybe has a high power level compared to something that will consistently perform in your deck. Now, Wildborn Preserver is fine, but it's not a consistent performer. And Ulamog isn't really a greedy pick there because there's just not something up against. The Apier is excellent, by the way. So I don't know if that definitionally hits greedy for me, right? I feel like we're mono green, and I feel like mono green, especially with these cards here, will play a Finale and be happy about it. So maybe we do that. I mean, we could play red. We have 2 fucking mana fixers and accelerants, but are we? Do we need red in here? The rest of our red cards are really bad. Now, I love Magda, and I love fucking Lannery because, again, creating treasure tokens is just amazing. But I think I'm gonna take the finale here and try to be a mono green deck with artifacts here. I like how the next pick is only red cards, no green cards, and fixing. So, nice. All right, what do we have? Red, blue, white. Black, red, white. I'm never playing any one of these cards. So, exciting. All right, Maze Mind Tome. A green fight spell. Lots of red cards. And a reasonable but not terribly exciting green token generator. All right, we're going to be super shy on fight spells. Happy to see the castle here for mono green. Happy to see Phylith for mono green. Wish I had some fixing. Chat, we're going to get baited into playing mountains after I didn't pick any of the red cards. I really don't want to be baited into playing mountains right now. Oh, dude, red cards. Good red cards. Good early game red cards. Good mid game red cards. Fixing that doesn't include red. Terrible green cards. Like the best card in black. An incredible mono red card. The best sack card. Also really good in all mono black decks that can splash a mountain. Some random crappy win more artifact and red white fixing. Well, I mean, no one wants to play red. We're very clear on that. Maybe I'd play Phylith and just play some mountains. I'm kind of annoyed we didn't take that Magda now. Although I don't know if we have enough to play red right now. We didn't get a couple of the green cards I would have liked to see. We're kind of moderate on how rapidly we accelerate with green. And we're not, like, it's not super good acceleration, rather. We don't have the best fixers. We don't have the best accelerants in there. We have a couple green payoff cards, but not some of the really nice ones, like, or rather my favorite ones, like Henge. So, God Pharaoh's Gift should be decent. God's Pharaoh's Gift, like acceleration into a pretty high creature count into a lot of ETBs, is your ideal way to play God Pharaoh's Gift in this format. I don't think there's a way to cheat this into play from the graveyard that I'm aware of, although there might be. All right, so we have a deck that looks like it was drafted by someone who's just first opened up this format for the very first time, never seen any of the cards, doesn't like reading, and has the intellectual capacity of a mollusk. I don't know who drafted this, but we should really, really get on them about figuring out what they want to do before they pick their cards. But here we go. We'll treat it like a deck doctor. See what we can make work out of here. All right, the first question is, can we just not play red? Because although we got some good red cards, we didn't get good red cards that build a deck for us. And the answer is, we have playable count with green right now, kind of. This is 42 before we remove anything, which is a bit scary because often that means we're going to play cards we don't want to play. All right, with these cards, would I play Cold Steel Heart? I would not. With these cards, so we're at 40 right now because this is a land. All right, am I okay playing Spring? I am. Am I okay playing my 4-drops? Yeah. I don't love the Icy in here, but it's okay. Am I okay playing my 5-drops? Yeah. Although I don't really want to play Golos. So the cards I kind of would like out if we play mono green. have to cut a land with this stupid mammoth too. The mammoth is good. It's not the mammoth's fault we have to cut a land. So maybe we shouldn't be calling the mammoth stupid. The mammoth probably got vaccinated. So, alright, we'll just go with that. He's not the one making me spend fucking extra months in lockdown. It's somebody else. So we won't take it out of the mammoth is what I'm saying. Alright. From here, can we make a deck? We could play enough lands for Golos. Just kidding. So we have no black sources. No blue sources. That also provide green, if I'm not being clear. We have one white source. Golos was bait? No, Golos was free. Golos was literally, as a 3/5 artifact creature that tutors a land, was the best card in that pack. I feel like we're a little light on payoffs for winning here. Kogla, Tendershoot, and Phylith without a way to generate card advantage particularly well. What's our creature count here? Like 7? 12. Golos tutors Mammoth to play as a land. That is an interaction I hadn't considered. Now that I've considered it, I wish I hadn't considered that interaction. But you are technically correct. I could, in fact, bring the Mammoth in tapped as a land. See a creature in the library? Actually, maybe he can't. I don't know. I think he can be discarded. Actually, no, you're wrong. You're not even right. The best type of correct is incorrect. Because you're right. Front side is actually a creature, right? Because you can make discard that says discard a non-land card will hit Mammoth. Okay. So our first question was, can we build a mono green deck? And the answer to that is barely. We would need 4 cards in from this point. And Icy is an easy in. So really, I guess it'd be 3 cards in from this point. But even 3 cards in here for mono green are a little tricky. All right. And what is our removal? We got our Ram through and we got Thrash. Heart's Acceleration. Yeah. Why was pre-release canceled? I don't know. No one knows. WotC announced it like 2 days ago or something, or 3 days ago or something like this, that pre-release was canceled and all future pre-releases, the online pre-releases, are also canceled. We don't know why. Presumably they were upset at all the free advertising they were getting from a million fucking streamers playing that without being compensated for it ahead of time to generate hype for their expansion the day before their expansion released. They thought to themselves, that's a terrible investiture of minimal resources. We would be better off getting the $15 it cost us to pay someone to add 300 names to a fucking server. It'd be better to keep those $30 that we saved to ourselves. If you don't like it, you're a consumer of their product. Go let them know. Now, I don't know who the fuck you let them know, because they're so not transparent that we don't know who made the decision, why they made it, what they were hoping to accomplish, or what they see as the cost of that. But that's the situation we're all in at the moment. Do I want to put red in this deck, chat? I really don't. What do we get for power level? A Dragonkin Berserker, a Scorching Dragonfire, and a Lannery. Yeah, it does boggle the mind. I don't understand. And, you know, there might be some like economic thing that I can't fathom that plays into this, but I don't know what the fuck it is, chat. I really don't. I think this is a God Pharaoh's deck because I don't want to put red in it. So we play some questionable cards. Probably the 3 artifacts on the right there, but possibly Spring instead of Cold Steel Heart, and then the Golos and the God Pharaoh's Gift. We're never going to have blue, so Spring is just 3 mana, tutor a mountain, which can be fixing for Phyla, I guess. Phylath, whatever his name is. I really don't know, chat. So if anyone has better theories, like maybe someone who spent more than 8 seconds reflecting on it and maybe knows something about it, I would love to hear it because I don't have any knowledge. GCB made an interesting video about it. They moved the money to a new event with chess pog champs. They bring in streamers who don't play the game. I can't imagine this though. This is it's WotC and what is it? Hasbro, the fucking parent company of that. So they have really deep pockets. The cost of this event is so astoundingly small that I have the hardest time buying any economic argument unless there's some way that they're generating negative value from a full free day of basically every Magic content creator like showcasing their newest product the day before it comes out and building up hype. Unless that is actually a negative impact on their economic models, I don't understand how they could possibly not invest just this like minimal amount of resources in this. Takes away from people using their wild cards and random cards. Yeah, I guess I can't see into the background of how they make money in their Magic economy. I know it's 1 billion microtransactions. Maybe wild cards actually make them fuck tons of money and I didn't realize it because people are always short on wild cards because normally they'll draft jank, but if they or craft jank, but if they see streamers staying away from that jank, they won't. But I can't buy it. I don't buy it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Thank you, Bricky, for the 19 months. But hey, I am not a huge international company with many successful products over the years, presumably. So, am I going to grind the new set? I'm going to play the drafts when it comes out. Yeah, it just seems unlikely to me, Fraudy Knock. I guess I don't know how people spend money. Do people buy packs in this game? Because buying packs has been the biggest scam I've ever seen in a fucking microtransaction. Like, I think skins are more valuable than packs in Magic, quite honestly. Like the online version. So. Gotcha, Flipper. Appreciate the support then. Now we know. CGB. All right, chat. I don't want to play Spring to Mine in this deck particularly, although it does let me tutor a Mountain. Mountain lets me unlock second side of Thrash and Phylith. I think Phylith stays in this deck because we're missing some endgame. I think God Pharaoh's Gift is actually okay in this deck. We're at 12 creatures right now. We'd like to get that up to 14 or something. I'm very unexcited by Golos, but I'm thinking I'm going to be doing something like that. I mean, Cold Steel Heart is the equivalent of Spring, but it doesn't remove a land from my deck. Comes into play tapped, but it only costs me 2. It's Mountain for next turn. Spring bringing in tap or untapped? Tapped. So we're never getting... I mean, this is just the same value, but it can't be removed. I can never use the second half of this. Do we want a 3 mana tutor a basic, or do we want a 2 mana become a basic? And again, like I really don't buy that argument of, well, they're going to put this money into another event. There's not enough cost associated with this event for me to believe that that's actually a guiding principle for that. Why wouldn't they just do fucking both? Right? Like this event has to be generating the value. If it isn't, that's crazy to me. It's just really hard to believe. Just really hard to believe. Maybe I play both those over Golos. I mean, Golos is a body, and I can bluff my opponent into believing I might do something, maybe. I've heard that as well, that Hasbro doesn't understand the internet, but that kind of doesn't really buy. I don't really buy that either. I guess this is acceleration earlier than 3. All right, we're playing this. Makes me happy. By happy, I mean happy to get to the next draft. All right, how does the mana look? Looks like I have too many mountains in it. If setup of the whole pre-release server doesn't happen in this case, maybe it's not a beta test server, that'd be worth some money. I can't imagine that's true. They've already, whatever infrastructure that they need for this WoW, they've used successfully for the past like 3 years, doing the exact same format for their pre-releases. So there's got to be whatever fucking sunk cost is there has already been paid to a large degree. So I don't know. So what does Kiora do for us? An accelerant? Power 4 or greater. Do we have any power 4 or graders in this deck? 2. And every time we cast God Pharaoh's Gift. This deck is so bad. Oh man. This who drafted this deck, and what were they smoking when they drafted this? It's a ramp deck for Finale. So if we haven't drawn Kogla, this is tutor Kogla. Otherwise, this is cast at 12 mana only. And tutor for any creature. That is the best actual example I've heard yet, Sir Flipper. Perhaps there's only one person who knows how to do it, because it's such a simple fucking setup for it that they only bothered to train one person on it. They're like, it's going to take one person 8 minutes once a set release. And the guy's had COVID for the last couple weeks, and is just like, you know, we all wish him well, but he's a long hauler for COVID. And they're like, we have no one else trained in this, the art of inviting a few people to a fucking server to play our digital video game that releases the day after. All right, we're playing this. I wish I could make my own predictions here, but here we go. Do you think we can get 5 wins with this cleverly drafted deck full of deep synergies and interesting magic cards? Or will we be spat on by a dragon? Could go either way. I can't be bothered to get red in this fucking deck. Okay. Wait, why do I have a blue card in my deck? Oh, Karuga. Yeah, as you can imagine, chat, I feel rather uneducated on the overall topic of it, but it feels, on the surface level, it feels so bad a decision. So I guess I don't know, but it feels so dumb. Yeah. The dual mana blue. Did I keep that in the deck? Nice. You can use it to scare opponents into thinking I'm going to activate Golos. Opponent! Hey! Fuck off of your ramp. I play a card that eventually draws me a land. Your turn, opponent. Did I fix my lands? It's impossible to know. Uh-oh. He's played a card that needs to be removed. But my deck doesn't run removal. Although I did just draw one of my 2 pieces of removal. But this piece of removal requires I have stuff in play. He's also accelerated into this, which is really bad for me because we didn't draw any of our accelerants. So we're going second without an accelerant with a Doom card on fucking board and no way to answer it. I play Forest and pass. Your turn, opponent. Please enjoy your free double spell. He has drawn Sublime Epiphany off that. It's good I know about it, I guess. Oh, we just bricked on land as well. Thank God we bricked on land. See, the nice part about bricking on the land drop here is now I can be like, oh, we land screwed and we lost. And I can just have a nice, solid thing to blame it on. Not that our opponent had good cards and played them in roughly the order he wants to play them in. All right, can we... I'm ready for a new game, chat. I don't need to be here any longer. We're out of lands. We bricked. All right. Kept a 3-lander with the Dryad Greenseeker, which was both too slow and never got to land 4. Is that a... Hold on. Let's just ask the question. Are we having fun yet? I think the answer is yes. That was extremely fun. But what we find is the question is wrong. It isn't, are we having fun yet? It was, did someone have fun with that? And the answer was yes for the opponent, no for us. But that might not be relevant. Did the overall amount of fun in the world increase? And if we don't ask about the overall amount of less fun in the world? Okay. Alright, opponent goes first again. We've drawn our entire late game in their opening hand. Both of our red cards, and we have 3 forests. Do we mulligan, going down in resources? Or do we stay equal in resources, but be able to not play the game for some extended period of time? I think we'll mulligan this. This is a much better hand. Now, do we keep Golos because we want cards and fixing here, or do we keep Karuga because we want to draw cards? Or do we throw away Greenseeker because Greenseeker is a scam? So I guess this is goodbye Golos here. We do want to accelerate out, but I don't want to get rid of my Mana Dork. I guess there's some question about, do I play Mammoth here? We're going second. We'll get one more card. Okay. There's our blue card. Yeah. Yep. We have a Dinosaur Hippo. Okay, with that, I'm never playing Mammoth here then. We can make this green mana if we have to. It'll make us very sad because it's one of our red sources. We got a mountain in hand, so. Okay. Opponent's on blue mana pass. Okay, don't Thief of Sanity me here, okay? I don't want to see a Thief of Sanity right now. Motherfucker! I had one ask. Literally one. I mean, can't beat it. I guess we ask him nicely to cease and desist hitting us with Thief of Sanity. Opponent, please. See what I'm talking like, Flipper? Like here, like a tilt sound, or like a I think chat would enjoy having the ability to verbally aggress. What do you think about if he wanted to hold his counter up or play his thief into an open board? Took my only non-land card out of that. I'm sure it's going to be the best card in my deck. This is Sky Sovereign. That's what that is. Okay. What happened? Nothing. Oh, it's an accelerant. So he held up counter mana. Could be bounced too. I don't think I can do anything about that, right? I guess I can play around Censor by playing the removal first. If he's got a bounce, I lose my dude. If it's a counter, I lose my counter spell. Neither of those things matter. What is the activation cost on this? 4. Add 6 creature spells or activate creature abilities. So I can actually activate that, right? 4 in a tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I could 6. Does 6 get me anywhere? I could Karuga. But I can't use the mana for Ram Through. I could cast Monkey into their fucking mana, but that sounds... I mean, we know he has a counter. What was the pause on turn 2? It was, did he want to hold his counter open? So I think this is... Dude, I can't. I have to play around Censor, so it doesn't actually matter. Okay. So we'll ram through. If it resolves, great. If it doesn't, we probably lose the game, but I can't beat it if it doesn't resolve, so here we go. Never didn't have it. Okay. Alright, good game. To pay counter mana with Castle. I don't know. Get 2 for 1, get 2 for 1. Thief of Sandy hitting us is a 2 for 1. The Heartless Act is a 2 for 1. Thief of Sandy hitting us again is another 2 for 1. Okay. I hate our deck that we drafted, by the way, chat. I mean, going second with the opponent having answers has never been, of course, helping us, but it's been a terrible, terrible deck so far. All open mana. Would you like to resolve Ape on this board? No? No, I don't want a fight-based removal spell into 6 open, or 6 open mana with their opponent having double blue sources. This is going to be Epiphany. You ready? But again, I have to remove the Thief. I guess I could try to icy it. That's maybe okay for a turn. Maybe he'll spend his mana. It's possible he has creature-based counter, but not non-creature-based counter. It's also possible that none of my decisions have mattered this game and will continue not to matter moving forward. We hope to find out the truth of this, one way or the other. I cast a spell. Sublime Epiphany. I will clone my Thief, bounce your Icy Manipulator, or counter your in my Icy Manipulator, clone my Thief, bounce your Mammoth, and draw a card. Okay.
You have returned.
Thanks, Wyo.
Ready for Strix's smile.
Ready for Strix. Yeah, I am ready for Strix. I was ready for that today. Told you. It's not like, I mean, I am so fucking in my opponent's head right now, and it makes literally no difference. I can see it ahead of time, know it's coming, can make my pointless decisions around it, and it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Okay. Blue is not the anti-fun color. It is double blue. He just had cast it off. He cast double blue off my own dude. I mean, we can be done this game too. Okay. Right? Like, I'm telling you, Flipper, okay, so chat, okay, maybe we can crowdsource this even wider than my mod channel. Maybe we crowdsource this a little bit in chat as well. Okay, chat, here's what we're considering. some of my mods have recently figured out some technological advancements to the stream. If we had so 2 of them in particular. One, we can call for a lot more things than we thought we could call for Nightbot. So we can do some more complicated commands. We just don't quite know what the fuck to do with them yet. And the second thing is we could call for sounds. Would you guys like the ability to turn in channel points to play sounds on stream? Would it be fun in a moment like that to get like a chorus of people being like, you know, like some sort of sound effect for that, like laughter or like ooh or like oof, you know, or some variation of that? Like either I could record them or we could play like stock ones. Like we can do that. Would I want to hear them as well? I mean, I have the ability, I guess, to choose the audio channel they play on. Would I like it? Well, I mean, that's the way I could make money off this, right? I could just make it a cash donation, and the thing would it would be the simplest thing ever, right? It would be a simplest step. It would be 1, make it a speech conversion. 2, make it cost money. 3, add exactly one sound file, and that sound file would be something like "fuck you, filthy," and then we could just wait. And then chat could spam that, and I could just like rake in the cash with a fucking rake, like straight up, like, you know, like just peeling it off the ground and putting it to my bank account. But if we were looking for something that maybe enhanced the quality of the stream, maybe it would be fun for chat to be able to respond to like kind of like bad blowouts or like nice plays or something like this. Sad trombone, exactly, like Inception, like fucking horns or something. Like I could see there's a lot of fun ideas with this potentially, but the thing holding us back right now is the brainstorming for it. Literally, we can't think of good ideas fast enough or refine them fast enough to get this. Like the faster we get those ideas, the faster we can roll it out. So here, crowdsourcing is actually useful. What type of sounds would it be fun to have on stream, if any? Well, it doesn't. We don't necessarily. I mean, the other thing we could do, Flipper. I don't know. Actually, I actually don't know if the commands work this way. So we might be able to get, instead of having it be like they don't overlap and they should be more expensive, it might just be we have to get to some minimal number before it plays at all. So that way we don't have the one guy just spamming the Inception horn till the end of time. But it's like 5 people in chat want to like put that forth and then it calls it, kind of deal. There was replay. I don't know if you guys remember. There was a replay software that did that for a while, which basically offered that would play an instant replay of the last X amount of time if enough people in chat called for that. So anyways, again, this is an idea. We have a bit more tech to play with this. If you guys have ideas about that, I'd love to hear it, because I think there's some things we could do that are pretty cool. Sure, but we could do like, you wanna solo play a sound, Sir Flipper? We could make that expensive. You want to try to crowdsource that to be like, oof, and you know that's a cheap one? We could certainly do that. I mean, there's all sorts of ways. So throw out. I mean, there's no. How do I say this? It's not that there's no stupid ideas. It's that I'm not going to be judging stupid ideas right now. So throw out any and all ideas you have in channel, and I will abstain from judgment. We'll look at those. Hopefully we'll find that chat as a whole is collectively brilliant, that we are bucking the trend of all crowdsourced things. Channel plates have a crowdfunding system? I mean, kind of. We're gambling. That's a crowdsource thing. Check out Blurp. I don't know what Blurp is, Carrot Monster. Can you suggest that in Discord? Perhaps with a link so we know what it is. I can ambush that later, but not easily. It's going to take a while. I think I'd rather just be able to block it. Maybe Kiora here for an accelerant for Dryad next turn is okay too. Maybe. Kind of wouldn't mind hitting that permanent count for Dryad. Never didn't have it. again, I think there's a lot of potential. Yeah, throw the ideas out. All right, I do need mods like paying attention to these ideas though, chat, or mods rather. Did you just pass on 3 open white mana? Okay. I mean, he can't be casting Sublime Epiphany here because I'm in his head too, and I know it's not Sublime Epiphany that he's holding. Look at that, chat. Fucking streamer genius over here. I mean, I could technically attack with Harvester, but I can't crew it twice. Okay. I cast Kiora. Notice me. Well, I'm not sure I'm committing to hearing the sounds yet, chat. This might be, I mean, we can do that, but maybe if we're hearing it, maybe it needs to be text-to-speech for me, right? Like, I don't know. I don't want to hear a fucking Inception horn anytime, or I don't want to hear like a boo anytime someone doesn't like my play, for example. I'm not at all interested in that. I need to hear them. Well, maybe we make it a different cost or a different tier of thing for that. 3, 4, 5. I mean, we can almost cast God Pharaoh's Gift. The problem is we haven't lost or gained any creatures yet, which is a bit clunky. All right. So here we'll resolve Tendershoot Dryad, and we'll get instantly removed by Cast Down. But we'll make friends along the way. Is it worth getting a +1/+1 counter on Preserver for a Kiora charge? I mean, I guess.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
Okay. Kiora is just an accelerant. Yeah, we're short playables for mono green Flame Dance. We don't have enough fixing for the red cards we played. Alright, do we want to attack with Harvester? Well, if he has removal, I'd rather Harvester or 8 the removal over Preserver or Tendershoot Dryad, so I think we are. Let's go, let's crew our dude. I'm not tapping Tendershoot though. That's a mistake. Since there is interaction that kills that, and there's not interaction. Actually, you know, this turn we're not. I don't need to trade life total. If my opponent is mana screwed, then we're good. If he's got cast down, we're fucked. Anything else, he can't interact with the Dryad for shit for here. So I think we're just okay to pass the turn here. Okay. Zam's a new mod, Sir Flipper. You could probably bully him into doing some work. Decline. All right. There's his other source. Told you he was color screwed. In his fucking head. I am so on board with my opponents understanding their plays from here. To be fair, I wasn't really expecting him to Savage Stomp the Dryad. So that play did come out of left field. I do like that it goes to the graveyard though. I mean, I can just recur it next turn. Now, since he's already being killed, I can tap him. Okay. Resolve. Pass to attackers. My turn. All right, so we always cast the Pharaoh's Gift, and I guess we want it pre-combat so it actually triggers, right? 5, 6, 7. Okay, this comes in untapped. Okay. So my turn is scripted because I don't have any other plays, so we'll understand it. Oh, there's the other synergy, by the way, with Kiora. So that's our third, right? Which is we get this as a 4/4, and I'm pretty sure it triggers Kiora because I don't think it's a cast. I think it's a ETB. Yeah. Easy God Pharaohs. I'd like to crew my Harvester. Would I like to crew my Harvester? No. Well, he just blocks and gains life. I mean, that's a powerful payoff. Okay. Submit. All right, I'll decline the preserver. I'll accept this. I don't even think it's a May. Okay, our other late game card seems good. Can I ever attack him? I mean, this card technically has haste. Turning this card sideways, again, has all the downsides of turning it sideways, and neither of the other card challenged the board, so it's a no. Okay. No attacks. End turn. Decline. They need to be sounds filthy finds funny. They don't, because I have control of my audio channels. They don't have to play for me. I can play them just for you guys. And we can have different tiers of sounds too. Sounds that chat hears that I don't hear. Sounds that I hear that chat doesn't hear. Sounds that we both hear. Sounds that neither of us hear. That only is recorded in a bot's log history somewhere. Like, we have all sorts of available options here. Resolve. What is the 2 white mana we think it is? God's willing? Could be. I don't want him eating my preserver here. He didn't attack my planeswalker and I'm at 20 health. I'm going to take fucking 4 here. This card is going to grow to an unstoppable threat. I could even block with this and just not take the 4. I don't care if this dies. I can lifelink off it too. Actually, we'll do that. We're going to crew off the... We're going to tap a token that we don't give a shit about tapping. There's still a lot of white removal that kills tap creatures between Seal Away and the instant. Yeah. I will pass the blockers. Block, lifelink. If he has a pump spell, I'm fine with it. If he doesn't have a pump spell, I'm fine with it. If he removes my creature, I'm fine with it. If he, you know... There's almost no series of interactions here that I'm not okay with. Okay. I am seriously considering just slamming plus like 6/6 on this card. Yeah. I create a 9/9. Do I even play lands with Phylith in hand? I kind of feel like I don't. All right, do we start swinging with this 9/9? Probably. I attack. Yep. It's the worst one for us, but this is why I refuse to let the Dryad tap this entire game. Fine with that. It's too bad it doesn't go to the graveyard. We do have one way to kill enchantments, so we can get our creature back. That's okay. Did take our turn, but we have other plays here. We're getting wider on the board. We're not bleeding out. I think we're fine. Okay. Could get blown out by a swift response, but the cards we're talking about, Seal Away and Swift Response, are fine for to hit on our 2/2. This 2/2 has already generated insane value, right? Initially set up for blocks versus the Arrow Responder with the Harvester. Became a 9/9 threat. Took a turn to do it, but became a 9/9 threat on the board. We have to tap creatures to kill him eventually. We're not worried about him having removal. We're worried about him removing the creatures we don't want removed, which is the Saproling. The Dryad, rather. The one who generates the Saprolings. But now he's got another one, so I guess we lose our Dryad too. It's a little bit annoying. I will crew in response, I guess. Okay. Our 1/1s look a lot less exciting on this board now. It's got an answer for the fucking Harvester too. It might not be for the Harvester though. He might kill the God Pharaohs. This is now a 6/5 Vigilant Flyer though, which I think beats our deck, but maybe not. We'll see. Why didn't I attack with tokens? Because it's a terrible, terrible, terrible play. Do you want me to elaborate, or do you want to ask a question that doesn't sound like you're backseating me? I mean, I'm happy to tell you why it's a terrible play if you'd like. Elaborate. Sure, because my tokens are 3/3s. He has a 3/4 Vigilant Lifelinker on the board, so he always eats a token. So what that means when you're generating tokens every upkeep, so I get 2 per round, is you're looking for a mass where you don't care about him eating one every turn. So if I attack him with 3 tokens, which is the number of tokens I'd have without, actually I'd only have 2 because I got one on my upkeep. So I'd have 2 tokens that could attack because I got one on his upkeep and one on my upkeep, right? So those both would have Summoning Sickness last round. So I would have had 2 3/3s here. I can then hit him for 3, lose my token, and gain him 3 life. So the end result is I'm -1 tokens and he's at identical life total. So what you want to do in a situation like that is you want to build up your tokens before you attack, because you're not just wanting to throw them away. You don't get any value out of throwing them away at 0 gain. Okay. All right, let's draw a card. We'll play a land. We'll make our guy a 4/5. Okay. Thanks, IG. I can't attack this 6/6 flying lifelinker vigilant creature that destroys my shit every turn. Or not every turn, it's just when he mutates onto it. And this is a bit of a problem. Him having removal for every card of ours that does something has been a bit of a bitch. So he's removed our God Pharaoh, he's removed our 2/2 that became a 9/9, and removed our Dryad twice. So he's had 4 pieces of removal for our 4 threats. This is kind of the last threat we have available to us. Problem is I can't attack. I have to go wide around this, and this is really really unpleasant. So where pass takes 6. Give him 6 life swing. We need our giant monkey, or we need I don't even think Thrash does it, right? Since we don't have a creature big enough. I will with Phylith. I don't think so. Oh, it is. I can put it on the same one. I've never seen anyone do that. That's interesting. So I can make an 8. I can make an 8/9 token. Good call. Good call. I don't know if I would have read that on my own or not. So am I chumping yet? 6 is out of 11. I think this is 1 more turn without jumping. Okay. Is there a wrath effect? There's like 6 wrath effects in this format, I think. 5? There's a lot. Alright, I mean, do I have a human that I can keep him alive? No. So I did draw my removal. My removal kills itself. Do I really not have a human here? Sapperling, plant, monkey, artifact, vehicle. Negative. We do not have such things. Alright, well, here we go. We're never not doing this since I can't beat the fucking card on the board, so fight! It gives him another 6 life. He goes to 42 casually. Resolve. Alright. We want to play things on our... Do we want another 4/5? Are we going through him or over him? Yeah. Could have crewed with my monkey. That's true. I could have. I'm going to take 1 8/9 here. I can actually attack with this, which is good. I mean, he's at 1,000,000 health, so he's never... This thing trample, it sure doesn't. Alright. Do I wish to develop my Cold Heart? No, I'll develop this, I guess. We can draw Finale and win. Okay, opponent's on an empty hand. We've dealt with his big threat. Presumably he's just top decking here. He can't instant speed. Oh, that thing has fucking reach. That's just a punt. Okay, first punt of the day. It's fine. I just wanted to gain some life probably. I did kind of forget that card has reach. Okay. So that's obviously a misplay. We'll call it the first misplay of the day besides the draft. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Insert applause here, right? We could be having fun with this. I don't know why we aren't. Okay. I believe these creatures have to do damage, but suddenly these 1/1s get interesting. How does Finale work, chat? Does it pump my creatures on the board? All of them? It does, right? Okay. I am jealous of my opponent's life total. I was trying to make up for it. So weird to play this in as a land, but it is in fact a land here. So I want cards here, I believe. I've got a lot of 0/1 still. I think I actually... Are the Saprolings plants? They're not. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fine. Okay. The 0/1s don't draw. Correct. They have to do combat damage. CMC 3. 1, 2, 3. It's not even bad. I also don't hate the ramp. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're already at more mana than we need though, so I don't have to ramp here. Oh, I don't even need to use this guy. I can use my fucking dude. Okay. I guess one more off the goad. Yeah. Do I want my preserver back as another threat that grows? I do, but I don't want it back now. I want it back if he like wraths me. So, end turn. Thank you, Ashen. Was yesterday great? Nah. It wasn't. I mean, it was a COVID birthday.
I hope yesterday was great.
I enjoyed it. My wife went out of her way to make it a nice experience for me, and I appreciate that. But it wasn't particularly exciting as these things go. Probably should have held up mana to thrash here. Kind of didn't notice I drew the card. I'll call it birthday brain fog. Okay. Yeah. All right. Have we avoided a punt command? No, but it would be lovely. That would be an excellent WoW. Can we have a punt command that resets daily on our bot? Maybe, I don't know, does it need a moderator input or maybe just like enough from the chat? Like that would be kind of interesting. Maybe it restarts on my stream start time or something. Need a lifetime counter? We don't. The lifetime counter is not very interesting. All right. Yeah, opponent ran out of answers to our shit and then we drew a million cards. I mean, a lot of misplays from me there though, like literally punts, like just like really bad plays. To be fair, I'm kind of over this deck. I was over it when I drafted it and realized I had 36 cards that I wanted to play out of my entire draft. Yeah. Punts per hour is how they measure them. Well, it can certainly report both statistics, but punts per hour is only useful, I think, over there. I think it's only over the course of the day that's useful. How excited am I about sticks? Less excited than I would have been if there was a fucking pre-release, you know? But hey, I'm not Watsy. So, what do we have? We've got 2 creature-based removal spells, a mana accelerant on 3 who draws us cards for big creatures, and our first creature spell is on 5. We're going second and we have 2 lands. Can we keep this hand? I don't think so. I mean, that's better, I guess. To reset, I believe it has to be deleted. We need to figure out global burials. We might have to figure that out then, wow, because I think the reset's useful. I don't think it's very useful without it. I mean, I think a noise for punts would be fine. Anyways, I think we have some stuff that we could do with Flipper's suggestion. 4th time in a row going second. That's fine. When we drafted on Monday, our first deck went like 5 or 6 games in a row going second, and like lost on like, you know, I don't know, match 4 or match 5 or something. And then our next deck went first, and then we like got like, I think we played like 5 wins with the second deck or something. So I guess at this point, when I hate this deck, if we go last every single fucking game on this deck, and then next draft I go first in all of them, sure, we'll do it that way. Seems great. I counter. Gandalf. It's welcome to the match, Gandalf. We've missed you. Tomorrow is a new day. Gandalfs everywhere will have to rethink their strategies. But for today, you can still be the same fun old Gandalf. And we're happy to have you here. Happy to have him here. I turn 4, play Gilded Goose so I can hold up Counterspell on turn 2 and 3. And all future turns. Makes sense? You don't want to be without your shields. Chat, we have a lot of options here. I could Finale for 2, which is a strong contender for the top play. We could pull Dryad Greenseeker, a card that over many turns will generate card advantage. Basically, little less than half a card per turn. So, we could set up for the value of maybe 1 to 2 cards over the course of this match. We could accelerate to potentially cast our spells. Or we could deploy a 4/4 threat. I cast Cold Steel Heart, claiming Forest as my favorite friend. And I pass. Okay. Hey, Joe. Joe, tell me in a short summary how you feel about the pre-release streamer event being canceled. Gandalf says, I hold my mana, my counter spell for something more interesting. Yeah, the 4/4 is exactly identical ramp if it doesn't get countered. The reason I'm not playing this isn't because I think the 4/4 is by far the best board state that I could get out of here is to resolve the 4/4 that also ramps me, for sure. But the problem is I have exactly 3 pieces of removal in this deck, and one of them is this card. And I'm extremely concerned about using this card on a Gandalf as a 4/4 threat. There's no way this token either doesn't get countered or bounced. So it's like it's not a real threat. Although now I might just be forced to because I might not have any other plays. Could develop Icy. Or I could develop the 4/4. Or I could tutor a 2 mana. What do I want countered? This is kind of removal. It just doesn't deal with... It deals with attackers. It just doesn't deal with like token generators or like value generators. Here it might be the 4/4, honestly. It's going to get countered regardless, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather the threat get countered than the Icy Manipulator is my thought process here. Without a creature, it's a little bit less of removal and it's a little bit more of just do nothing. So, going second in Land Screw, I'm so over this deck. There's no outcomes that bother me with this deck. None. Tutor Greenseeker with Finale? I don't think I'm there yet. With 2 other 4-drops, I'll just play the 4-drops first. Icy's kind of a mana tax too, which is a little bit painful. You're somewhat invested in it not getting 5 wins. I wouldn't be too concerned. Opponent plays a 4/5. 4/5s are unbeatable for my deck. Okay. Okay. Drawn my other 7-drop. Well, 6-drop, I guess. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. The 3rd turn of missing land drops is starting to get a little heavy. Well, the Yorion blanks my attacker here. Do I have another two? I could tutor the goose. No! I refuse. You can't make me tutor my goose. You can't. Icy lets me attack. I'm okay with it. Opponent doesn't give a fuck about me attacking. He's like, your counter does not threaten me. I play every bounce and every counter spell in Magic the Gathering. I fear no counter. No token, rather. Combat. I attack you with my token creature beast. He is a token threat in a token game. Okay. Easy 4. Oh my god, the value. Alright. So this is a tap land. It is a land. Do I tutor goose here? Like, I have a handful of fucking value, right? I think I tutor goose here. I can hold up. I can finale for 1 and hold up mana with Icy. I think I'm doing it, chat. X is 1. It's library or graveyard. I didn't know it was and graveyard. Would I have tutored this guy last turn if I had known it was graveyard? Maybe. Value Town. Here we go. Value Town. Resolve. Oops, can't use that. I still can't green. Okay. Resolves. Finale of Devastation for 1. Look at the title. Finale and Devastation, opponent. Are you sure that you don't want to counter that? That card. Finale. Devastation. There's no chance that you're going to be okay, opponent. None. Hope you have board wipes. I can't tap Lotus here. It would be cutesy if he was short on mana, or I had a lot of mana to spare, or I had a board presence, or my opponent wasn't beating me to death with a 4/5 flyer. All those things would be super cutesy, don't get me wrong. But we aren't there. Still playing Cube? Yeah, the gaming company that determines whether or not I'm still playing Cube refused to release their set early for streamers today. So, yep, we're still playing Cube today. We don't want this command to be like this, WoW. We don't want the command to be a counting command where anyone can add a punt. It just doesn't work that way. It needs to either be like a mod-only command or possibly, as I said, so. Yeah. All right, so we did just manage to ramp to 6. 7, actually. Opponent is clearly holding counter mana. What is the least negatively impactful card to be countered here? The Dryad? Will you even bother countering the Dryad? The Kogla's okay. Getting it in the graveyard for God Pharaoh's Gift is fine too. And I have 7 mana, right? Alright. Let's play land. Let's attack with our token creature beast. Okay. Mod only and mod can reset the command. That's okay too. Wow. I prefer to auto reset because I think my mods are lazy in general. Present company excluded. Thank you for showing up and modding today, mods. But in general. I play Kogla, the Titan Ape. I counter. No shit. Thanks for letting me know. He saw it coming and he did not approve of that. Alright, here's a question though, chat. Do I tap one of these 4/4s? If I tap one of the 4/4s, I lose my mana acceleration and no longer have 7 next turn. Wait, you think that was a punt? Oh, it was a one of the mods asked you guys to type that. I'm like, no, it's not a punt, chat. That's not what that means. All right, I'm broadcasting that I want my goose, or I could be broadcasting that I'm a bad player. Could be either. So this is a nice play because a lot of the time this play here gets us out of the game a little bit faster. Because a lot of the time, if we do not resolve God Pharaoh's Gift, we cannot survive the 2 4/4s in the air. Now, if we do resolve God Pharaoh's Gift, we cannot survive the 3 4/4s in the air. So I really like this play. Because a lot of the time we just leave the game in a much more reasonable time. Okay, land here keeps us in the game, which is a little disappointing. So then we play this out. You know, and the thing is here, I have to have the mana. So I think I actually use Goose mana here, because if he has like Fatal Push and he Fatal Pushes my Goose like end of turn, for example, we instantly lose the game. Although to be fair, if he has Fatal Push here, he just Fatal Pushes the token. I can't remember if the token CMC on these ones are actual token CMC or not. Actually, it's not true. All right. So we are tap Goose for land. We will add Island because we're not a coward. Okay, and we'll use this because this is also a removable land source. We'll use our non-basics. Good. We cast God Pharaoh's Gift. We summon a 4/4 monkey that kills itself. Next. Come to me, giant monkey. Excellent. CMC 6, so we were right there. It does play around that. We fight the Scry Angel. Resolve. We go to combat with the Beast who could. To be fair, Beast has done 8 damage thus far, which is pretty solid. Okay. Alright. End turn. Your turn, opponent. Currently, opponent is unable to lose. And I don't want to put this out here yet, chat, because it's a bit scary. We have exactly 1 card that can kill the angel if he never attacks or blocks with it. Exactly 1 remaining in our deck. So if I don't resolve Ram Through on the Platinum Angel, he can just literally never attack or block again and never lose the game. He can't run out of cards. I can't kill him. Oh, Mass Vandal hits the angel. 2 cards. Thank you, chat. Why did I kill the Scryer and not the angel? Because the Scryer lets him continue to develop threats and kill us. So the first thing we have to do is not die. The second thing we have to do is try to win the game. And in this scenario, I'm pretty sure Scrying is worse for us in the short term than these other options. I pay 5 mana. I negatively resolve 11, 15 of your lands. I cast Mythos for free, and I clone my 4/4 flyer that's beating you to death that makes me not lose the game. Your turn, opponent. Go ahead. Gandalf, you've outdone yourself. This was a strikingly aggressive game from Gandalf, and he's not fucking around. So I actually think we can survive here, right? We chump 1, tap 1, create a token, and eat the token, and we have exact mana for that. No, we're 1 off. 2 to create. We had to draw land here. Then we could have survived. Do I have any flyers in my graveyard? No. Well, kind of, but not really. Not a creature flyer. Four, 5, 6, 7 mana. It is 2, 4, 8. Plus 1 is 9. We're actually 2 off. Alright. Chat, you're not going to believe this. We lost this game. And we lost the prediction. We went 1-3 with the green deck. Okay. Is there anything left that can remove 2 of those? Yeah, we had 2 removal points. We already talked about that previously when we had this discussion moments before on the channel. When we talked about Ram Through and Masked Vandal. So, okay. Alright. I'm shocked that we didn't get there. Okay. Alright. Consider this a free roll, chat. For those of you betting against me, I just give you a little bit of cash, and I hope you appreciate that. little bit of channel points. And channel points are going to be a lot more valuable when we figure out what the fuck we're doing with them. So are you dumping good ideas with this stuff, Zam, in the mod chat so we can get this worked out? All right. Pack 1, pick 1. What card do we want? The best card in the pack is Ashiok, maybe. Clarion Spirit's pretty good. Luminarch Aspirant's pretty good. Blood Chief's Thirst is dirt cheap. It's reasonable removal. The Vorinclex is a bait that many people enjoy that I do not. So I see 2 white-red aggro cards that are pretty, or even mono-white aggro cards that are pretty good, and I see a bunch of mediocre rest of this shit, and 1 okay removal. Reclamation can be a nice bait too, if you want to build a Gandalf deck around Reclamation. I kind of don't. We could first pick Ashiok and try to stay open to mill. The biggest issue with these 2 cards right now is they're almost duplicates, right? They're both first pickable white cards. So by taking one, we don't indicate to anybody that white is closed. So there might be a point where we're competitively picking white with like the next guy on our other side, which means we don't get anything in pack 2. I'm kind of down on this pick in general. These are both great cards though. I could Ashiok. I don't really want to play white aggro right now, but not for any reason. I think it's fine. All right. Shut up. I don't want a 20-minute lecture from Ashiok when I pick them. If I had known that, I may not have ever played the card. So I think Paradise Druid is the best card here. Nightmare Shepherd's fine. Nightmare Shepherd has some synergy with Ashiok in the fact that they're both really kind of interesting artwork, and they both lecture you a lot. The Shepherd's really not cool when you get to know him. He's really an asshole. Are there other picks here? I guess the question is, chat, can I still pick Paradise Druid, and do I want to? I could be mono black splashing blue for mill, which sounds like a troll. The Shepherd's not like a powerful card. It kills your graveyard synergies as black, and it's a 4/4 flyer for 4, which rarely gets there unless you're playing mono green, no removal. So I'll take the best fixer in the format. I think that seems okay, I guess. Maybe second best. I think Goose is maybe better in Paradise Druid, honestly. All right, God Eternal in black for the punish for not picking the other black card. Behold the Multiverse, so we can feel like a powerful Gandalf utilizing our mana every turn. I wish this card cost 5, so it would just be pointless to ever play it. So you could be like, I could discount my draw. Anyways. Or Sawtooth, Swordtooth, whatever his name is. I think this is just Bontu, right? Like that's the best card in the pack. Maybe Behold the Multiverse is better. We could Behold the Multiverse here. These aren't wheeling. I don't hate this card. Hey Nobu. Nobu, do you have any suggestions for someone explain to Nobu what we're considering this morning? She's technically a mod. Is this Behold? Bontu's okay. Alright. I will speculate Gandalf because of the Ashiok. Oh god, more Gandalf. Alright. Green-black dual, or Binding I think is incredible, by the way. So a green-black dual-colored card, Magda, if we'd gone that red aggressive deck. I mean, these red cards are like premium. A Braid, Ferocidon, and Magda are probably my 3 favorite red cards in this format in the early game. Like I like Glorybringer and Chandra quite a lot for past that, but these like on 2 and 3, these cards are amazing. Tezzeret's really Gandalfy, which is fine. But I actually think Binding is better than Tezzeret. Tezzeret's a nice stall card, but it's a bit expensive at 5 and sometimes just has no impact at all, like versus Tramplers. Binding is just good always. Ramps me, kills things, can play it in all the decks. I'm really happy with Binding. Yeah, it's a stack pack for sure. So I don't like this card, but the interesting part of this card is it's a land fixer, right? Like it's a 6 mana tutor any land card. So if you are playing max value Golos, you're in some love. You can get some love out of that. We're looking to play green, blue, black at the moment with the cards that we've picked up, or at least splashing black. Eliminate's okay, but I find it's not actually that great in this format. There's a Bestiary if we're really greedy. There's a Gross Spyro, which is fine, but not exciting, and probably Wheels. I'm going to speculate on the Ulvenwald Hydra. Yeah. Hey, Jerry. Chad is bad at explaining things. I'll try to try it again in a minute then. There's the elves. This is like a very bad goose. There's Kiora, which is also kind of acceleration, kind of fixing, but kind of not this deck. I guess we're on elves. There's a Hedron Archive, which is fine. There's a blue-black duel, but it's a tap land. There's a kind of weak card that requires a bunch of synergies. This card requires us to be a beater deck. We don't know what we're playing yet. We might not play these blue cards. So beater, like Kiora is fine, and so is Beetle if they wheel. But I think I'd take elves ahead of that. I don't like elves very much. There's a lot of spot removal in this format, so the 1/1 elf gets removed a lot. He's a lot worse than the other one. Brontodon on 3 here. Blue-red duel. Not blue-red duel. Yeah, blue-red duel. And then the Elf Lord. Elf Lord's overperformed for me slightly in this format. But to the point where I'd rather take my first body / enchantment hate card over my first medium planeswalker, even if it overperforms. Yeah. Tangled Florahedron as a land that sometimes is an accelerant. That's fine. There is a blue-black flip card, which is pretty good. Gutter Bones really doesn't fit this deck particularly. Marauder might, though, depending on how blue we are. It is a very annoying card, but it's an aggressive card. We're not really looking to ever attack them till much later in the game. I think it's between the Florahedron and the land, and I'm really looking at that land and going, that could be sexy. So I'm probably on the land. I don't hate or love this card. It basically replaces a land later as a tap land. So negate. We can posture that. I mean, we can be like, I have the response to your card. There is no downside to playing this card. I will counter. Could take white-red fixing. We're not white or red or likely to play them, and we don't have a Golos, but it feels better than playing negate, maybe. We'll see. Triome and black, red, white. Okay. So Crawling Barrens, red and white, flip land, a 3-mana accelerant with a pretty nice upside in the very late game, but basically reads as 3 mana at a... I mean, it's not a fixer, it's just an accelerant. I'm going to take the Triome. It's between the Triome and the Obelisk for this deck so far. God Bontu Wield. I hate humanity and everyone involved in humanity. Braid Wield. Black-red splash. Mouth to feed. Create a dude and sometimes draw a dude. Do we know what colors we're playing yet? Could be black splashing blue. Green, black, splashing blue. We'll try the mouth to feed. I don't know if we want to play that. No. Stack with the other 3s. Okay. All right, Nobu. So we have the ability to potentially add sounds to the stream for channel points, which would be a nice thing to do with channel points if we can think of the things we could do with that might be fun. Currently, all chat has come up with is aggressing against me using sound things, so we're looking for other options. There's a Thassa. Is this a Thassa deck? Not so far, it isn't. I guess we can perpetually resummon our Hydra for more lands, which is okay. There's Wolf Willow Haven, which is probably my least favorite piece of acceleration in this format, but is still 2-mana acceleration, which is pretty good. We don't know if we're blue yet or black. The black cards have a Noxious Gearhulk. I guess technically Thassa does resummon God Eternal if I want to sacrifice all my permanents for no reason whatsoever. Is this a Thassa deck? Ah, dude, we're going to end up in Simic Do Nothing. Could be the Gearhulk, too. We're starting to get some pretty valuable black creatures. Some payoffs for this start to get nice. It's a bit slow, but it does remove a thing when it comes in. You can't Thassa non-creatures. It's creature only. I'll take Gearhulk, Hope to Wheel Wolfhaven, or Illumination, or Thassa. I'm probably not going to wheel those cards. Alright, there's a white card that says win the game if you resolve this. There's a black card that stacks your graveyard. There's a giant that has subtext that sometimes wins the game. There's a monkey that sometimes wins the game. There's Toski for massive amounts of draw. There's Eldest Reborn for insane value. And there's Opt and Primal Might. Primal Might is premium green removal. We have no green removal and we're green. I'll take the pack. And there's Tutelage if we go the mill route. Fucking hell, this is a pack. I've made decisions suggesting we're playing green-black value. We have like, I mean, Kogla is fine, but like it doesn't synergize with this deck at all. Eldest Reborn tends to be pretty good value, but is a little weaker in this format. It's slow and sometimes hits nothing. It's fucking hard. I kind of want the Primal Might. We have no removal, but if we're playing black, we might get there with removal. I think we're splashing blue. I don't think we're on the mill plan. This could be a nice nice Dirtle deck, but we pick in non-Dirtle cards, right? We picked accelerations, beaters, and ETB creatures. Gargaroth for green. We're always taking... Are we always taking that here? I think we are. Green seems open, which is wild. I don't think green should ever be open in this format. Visionary, Gargaroth, Maze Mind, duels. Take the Gargaroth. All right. Preserver's a nice growing threat. Mammoth's a nice land / creature that we play for a tap. There's a black, green, blue Triome. We want that. We want that. We want that. We sometimes will play that card. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Holy fuck. I think this is Mammoth. Hope to wield the Triome. I like this card. Sometimes it's an aggressive beater. Sometimes it's fixings, or sometimes it's a land. Ghost Rider's okay. We don't have any escape cards quite yet. We don't have any graveyard synergies either at the moment. Mimic's fine. The fixing's fine. Either of the fixing's fine. There's a Surveyor. I don't really want Surveyor in this deck, although I love the card. I think this is Woe Strider. Alright, so we're looking to be black-green, probably splashing blue, probably not on the mill plan. I don't hate Epic Downfall. I don't like that it's sorcery. I do like the exile portion of it. This is kill everything / land. This is a shade as a beater. We have other 2-drops, and we're in a big green deck. We don't have to do recursive black cards. We have no sacrifice synergies. It's not quite true. We have got eternal sacrifice synergies, but I'm okay with the mauling here. Don't have good spot removal quite yet. Deck level seems fine at the moment. Black, red. 2 cards here then are the Kenra or the Wanderer. Wanderer with recursion. Kenra has some recursion, fits what we're doing a little bit better. This card is very unexciting though, often wheels because it's not very good. I guess I can use it to trigger a beetle. Can rebirth it later for value. We have good attackers. I don't hate the sack things with Wanderer, but I don't really feel like this deck wants cheap black recursive creatures. Fucking hell. Chandra is still in the pack. This is pick 8. Everyone else at the table has had an option to pick out of this pack already, and these are the cards they've given me. Witch of the Moors is excellent, but we have no life gain. It's really not for us. Cold Heart Steel is acceleration and fixing, but kind of painfully. The Null Priest is an early attacker with lifelink, gets you ahead, hard to interact with, and rebirths creatures. We have value creatures in this deck so far. Kind of wish I'd take that monkey. If we play blue for draw, we might play this card. We're never playing any of these other cards. I'm not playing this card, even though it does replace a land. We have 2 other tap lands already in our deck of higher value with the removal and the monk and the mammoth. Probably most of those cards don't. Tutelage wield, so no one's playing green or blue in this entire fucking... I mean, this pack is so stacked. I guess I can't really make that consideration here. We're not playing mill. I can play Lamia, but we probably don't. It probably doesn't make the deck. Black, red, green, red. We're not playing red, so these fixers don't help us. I'm not playing Tiamat. It's just weak in this format. I guess I take the black, red splash in case we end up with something really good. The green, red splash. What am I more like? I mean, they both fix. I guess I prefer the green. We did wheel Preserver, which is fine. Take the duel. This duel's not in our color. That doesn't actually fix for us. Shit, maybe we can play Mimic. I don't think so. Wield Shade. Okay. Pack 3. We're very black-green right now. We are an aggressive. We're turning creatures sideways kind of deck. This card generates value, which is super nice. I'd like to wheel the Cemetery. We might. There's no other cards in this pack that are particularly good for us. It's a Glorybringer, which is nice, but we're nowhere near red. Maul is nowhere near that. We're not playing this. We could potentially play this card if we have more outlets like Bantu. Bantu can eat that. We can kill it ourselves. Maybe I can fit that card in the deck for the absolute memes, maybe. Yeah. Sky Sovereign's a fucking bomb. Rejuvenators, whatever. Blossoming Defense is fine in a deck like this. We have valuable creatures we'd like to protect. Helm of the Host is very greedy. We already have a top end. So green-blue flip land is actually useful in a deck like this, and I like Inscription. I mean, I'm taking Sovereign here. I might overvalue this card, but every time I play this card, it wins games, so it seems very hard to overvalue it. All right, we have a 3 mana fixing / accelerant. We've got Waking the Trolls on 6 as an overkill card that doesn't actually win you the game. We've got Priest for sacrifice synergies, of which we have none. We have Exquisite Blood, which is a 5 mana do nothing card unless you're in a very specific deck. We've got Planeswalker Hate, that is also card draw, and we have our own Planeswalker, and we have an Embercleave that we cannot play. I don't really feel like this deck wants Vivian, but I don't think it can afford Priest, and I don't think it wants Immortal Sun at all. Savage Stomp, maybe? We don't have a lot of removal yet. Okay. I don't value Vivian very highly in this format. She's okay. All right. Inscription. Caravan's definitely an option for sure. Maybe it's better than the fight spell. I'm looking at the fact that we have 2 pieces of removal right now, right? And without spot removal in this format, you tend to lose. 3, I guess, with Binding, 4 with Sovereign. Maybe too highly valuing that. All right, so it's everything in this pack we want again. We've got green-blue fixing. I don't think we take Green Seeker here. It's just not exciting. I like Inscription just fine, although it is a fight effect. It's a cheap fight effect for 5, though. It does a lot of things. It's okay. And then we've got Realm Eater. I feel like Realm Eater is white protection versus, or rush down protection against all the smaller decks right now. So I'm going to take it. It's not super good for what we're doing, but it's in our colors, and it's a very, very, very powerful card. I don't mind Castle here. Acceleration on lands that I don't have to play tapped most of the time. Seems pretty good. This card is garbage. The Palladium is okay, but it's gone down in my evaluation of this format. I don't want to Blast Zone. Cosmos is... this is kind of like a win more. We've got powerful cards. We need to draw them and play them. This team helps me do all that without reducing my powerful cards. Seems good. 2 mana Acceleration. That pays off with our other cards. There's an Egon, but we're not really close to that. There's a Sweeper in black. Black-blue, we're not... All right, okay. I can talk about this pack all I want, but this is the only card we're ever considering in this pack. We'll see what we wheel out of it later. Red-green Splash Land. Snakeskin Veil, okay. We're not in any of these colors. I don't care about the recursion directly. We're not on red. Okay, red, white, white, blue, red, red, blue. Okay. All right. Red, blue, green. So this is a blue tap land that can also be green. That's reasonable. Fabled Passage is quite a nice piece of fixing. And there's a Rex Sage and an Idol. That's harder. We have 1 piece of hate already with Brontodon. Rex Sage hits a lot of targets here. Our deck is pretty good, and we have a Brontodon already. Binding hits enchantments. I think I'm taking Fabled Passage. We did timeout there as I'm considering. Could have been the Triome as well. Take Demonic Pack. I don't think we're playing it. I will take the Egg, but we're not playing it. Oh, dude, Thrash Threat is okay, maybe. We're not playing the red side of this ever, although we have a Stomping Ground. We could play the red side. It's just 1. Could be Sage. We have the Brontodon and the Binding to kill enchantments. I don't really need that necessarily. Another red-green flip card. I'll take the Caravan over that. Caravan's fine. The Breeding Pool Wield, good. So it's likely that we can splash blue relatively cheaply. We're never going to play the Negate. We might play Behold, and we might play Illumination, though, if we can get enough blue sources cheaply. I'm glad we picked up the lands when we did. We have a lot of powerful cards in this deck. The deck is fairly simple to play, too, right? Like, there's no like massive combos in it. It's just a green-black value deck. We can get this deck can be okay. There's been some interesting picks in it, like decision points. It's impossible to evaluate if I was right or wrong on those decision points, but they play out differently, which makes them interesting. Deck too honest. Deck's always too honest. We want to play as dishonestly as possible. All right. So what did we end up with? So the Eldest Reborn was a really interesting pick. There were a lot of good cards in that pack when we first took it. That's a weird pick out of that. Gear Hulk was another one. There were a fair number of good cards in that pack. That was a weird pick, or rather a pick that had a lot of decisions attached to it. Same with, to a lesser degree, the Binding pick. This is kind of what started to push us down this path of black-green. And then the Seraph pick was an interesting one for me. And then I think there's one more that was kind of interesting too. Can't remember what it was now. The Savage Stomp. So there were like 5 really tough picks where there's like 3 or 4 cards that you could pick out of that pack and probably have been justified in all of them. All right, we're splashing blue, so Growth Spiral gets us nowhere. What did we end up with for removal? Probably more than we wanted. We're probably going to end up cutting Stomp, which means we passed a pretty... I can't remember what the card was, but I remember passing something fairly premium for it. Anyways, let's start building the deck, see what we come out of with this. Eldest Reborn is underperformed in this format too. Might have valued it too highly. I like the value cards out of it though, so we'll see. The thing about mid-range decks that I like is you can often Often with some fine tuning, you can beat survive aggro decks and beat value decks sometimes. Sometimes for all of them. All right, this card likely doesn't make it. I mean, it might though. We have a Woe Strider to stack our graveyard to have some recursion, so it's straight up value there. And I also don't, and we do have recursion out of whatever the fuck it is, the 5-mana Saga that we were just talking about. So there is some world in which that's okay. What's our removal package like? We've got Thrash, Gear Hulk, kinda. Aldous Reborn, kind of. Binding, Mauling. What else? I don't know if I can play Thrash. So medium. All right. I guess I'm going to be at this point again. This is always with this cube. Normally you're doing things like building a deck around some strong core cards. Because this is cube, you're actually building a deck with all strong core cards. So it's like sometimes fitting the decks together don't come intuitively to me in this format. All right, I think we get enough recursion value out of No Priest that is an early beater and a late value card. That seems great. I'm always going to play probably playing a Mana Dork here. Always playing Paradise Druid. Likely playing Catarid. Although if we have acceleration on 3, we really would like, or 2, we really like payoffs on 4. Otherwise, sometimes it just doesn't do anything. And these are kind of garbagey cards otherwise. No equipment to take advantage of that, but we have Reaper to take advantage of that. Bomb 2 actually takes advantage of these. We can turn late game Mana Dorks into things if we want. We're playing the Brontodon as hate. We're playing the Binding. We always play Gargaroth here. It's super good. Playing the Binding. We're playing Seraph. Seraph sometimes fucks us, but sometimes it wins us the game, right? So I'm okay with that too. It's always an option sacrifice. All right. Those cards are always making the cut. Are there other cards that are always making the cut in this deck? I mean, yeah, these two are always making the cut too. They're reasonable value cards that are taking out lands. They do make tap lands, which kind of sucks, but they're okay. Okay. All strong cards except for our last deck. Hey, our last deck had plenty of strong cards in the sideboard, Joe. So mind your own business, bro, or I'll cancel your fucking pre-release. God damn. Sky Sovereign is probably, I mean, we're very low card count right now, so like we got plenty of time. We have plenty of concludes that we could probably get in there. So yeah, we're probably, I think that's a tier level below what else we have in here right now. Like these cards pretty much, I mean, again with the caveat about the mana accelerators right now. Yeah. Anyways. All right. So do we play Caravan? Crew 3 is kind of rough for this deck. We're playing Sky Sovereign. Preserver can be a threat. Beetle can be a threat. We don't have easy 4-drops on 4 though. Yet. I don't think we have any 4-drops at all. So our turn 2 accelerate to turn 4 is super unexciting in this deck. I guess with Paradise Druid, Stomping Ground, and Root Crag, I could play the second side of threat as sometimes a 4-drop, and it might happen enough that ramping out a 4/4 is okay. I mean, I've got like, how is Gargaroth not a dinosaur? I don't even know what this picture is supposed to be of. Like, okay, let's take a chat. All right, small sidestep in this game. What the fuck is this creature? I thought maybe it'd give me a bigger picture. No, it just like takes away all the distractions of the background. So is the creature in this picture? So my first thought is perhaps Gargaroth is an invisible Vigilant Reach Trampler. And that explains why he has Vigilance and Reach, because you can't see him, so you never know if he's fucking grabbing you out of the sky or untapped or whatever. That's my first thought. Is we have a picture of a forest. There's some red birds in the foreground, some trees in the background, and an invisible Gargaroth dead center. My second thought is maybe this structure in the back is supposed to be the creature, but what am I looking at? Are these horns, ears? Is this his tusks? Does he have a little tiny head? Are those his eyes? Those two like yellow spots in the middle there? Does he have these like really tiny eyes and he's got these ginormous horns and he's like looking over his shoulder? He's like posing. Is his hair blowing back in the wind as well? Is that his tail or tree? Those are the reproductive organs. it's a bold place to put them. Generally, there's a little bit of protection needed for those. This creature, as I see it, with these weird fucking legs, is he a little like a rabbit or kangaroo kind of thing? Is he like standing up on back hind legs with like kind of like little T-Rex arms in the front here? Like what seriously, what the fuck am I looking at with Elder Gargaroth? Like I see all these weird like double dots that kind of look like eyes all around the picture too. Maybe he's like an entity that is a collection of other entities, and this explains why he can do all these weird things. Anyways, I mean, it's an auto include in our deck. Do I wish to craft it? No, it's in my deck. Can I craft one for my deck game? No, that's just the interface. Okay, sure. Right, no, well, he's not in my deck. We removed him. He's going back in. Okay. Anyways. Small distraction along the way. All right, in this deck, it's a Rorschach test. That makes sense. I think we're going to play Eldest Reborn. I think we have creatures that rebirth with some value. Let's get another ETB creature off the Gear Hulk, synergizing with our Eldest Reborn, as well as just kind of black-green value kind of play. This is 3 or more. I think that's good enough. Reaper, Brontodon, Seraph, all 3 power. Our later cards are all 3 power or greater too, so we're often going to draw a fair amount of times off speed, and a 3-mana 3/3 on 3 is whatever. I don't hate it, I don't love it. I think that's fine here. We actually need 9 cards in still. What else are we drawing value out of Woe Strider? I think this might realistically be a Lamia deck too. Turns out you can craft cards for your cube deck. That explains a lot of my opponent's play. It makes so much more sense now, like where those cards come from. All right, is this a God Eternal Bantu deck? We don't have a lot of recursion. Can we use our lands once we have lands in play? Well, there's 0 mana sinks on the cards I have in play, and 0 mana sinks I have on the cards not in play. So, does that make it more or less of a God Eternal deck? That makes it more of a God Eternal deck, right? Because what that means is sometimes I'd like to eat my accelerants because I have nothing else to accelerate into. I don't know if Shade makes this deck, chat. Don't we have just better 2-drops all the way up? I mean, these are the 2-drops we're currently not in our deck. Shade's a 2 and a 5 that recurs off lands but can't block. Shade in Bantu. That is true. Shade is a permanent that I can sacrifice. You're not wrong. But are you right? I don't know if you're right either. I mean, I guess Shade also has synergy with Gravebreaker. I can put Shade in the graveyard, and that's okay if I've already like played my Woe Strider, and then I can just exile him to my Woe Strider, essentially thinning my deck. Do we play? Okay, let's make some. Let's make some more decisions while we're not making decisions. So that's cheap blue source. That's a cheap blue source. That is not a card that we're playing. We didn't wheel the other Triome. So we had the option of a Triome that was in our colors over this Fabled Passage. We could play Fabled Passage in an island here. So we could get essentially 5 blue sources before Cultivator. We get Paradise Druid, Passage, the island, and these 2. So that's not that expensive of a splash. Do we need the value that we get from adding in Behold the Multiverse and like Hieroglyphic Illumination? Or possibly the Mimic? I can't tutor the Mimic with Passage, so I really don't want to play it as a land. Do we play blue here? I've got... I guess we could keep fixing see what the black-green deck looks like and then see what it costs us to play blue. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So we have the mana base to support blue if we want it. That's the question we just got answered. How's our spot removal right now? We're on Hager's Mauling, a 6-drop, binding. Okay. All right, so let's say we didn't play blue. What does the deck look like? Creatures for stuff. So we need 2 more on this, so we're at 32. We need 8 cards in. Looking at Bontu, Preserver. Gee, Beetle just doesn't have a lot of things in this deck, does it? It's got the Thrash, the Sky Sovereign, the Gargareth, the Gear Hulk. These 2. Is Beetle good enough in this deck? Maybe. So we could go 5 drops, 5 drop, 6 drop, 2 drop, 2 drop. Weak removal. 2 drop. Pump spell. Possibly. This doesn't really feel like a caravan deck to me. I love our 2 mana accelerants and our empty 4 drops. That really makes me happy. The 1 mana sink is the Preserver. Die to Floods. We have a lot of things that count as lands. Alright. So this is roughly the green-black deck if we play it. What comes out if we try to make blue play? What do we want in for blue? Is it literally just Behold the Multiverse? Do we also splash Illumination? This card is a lot less flexible than Behold. Okay. We really want the Caravan. So we have so many 5 drops. It's not bad logic. Thank you, Zassifax. I will look at this image. Okay, so the image is like the same image we've had, but slightly larger. I mean, I'm going to put this up on stream because I think we need to get to the bottom of this mystery before this set ends, and maybe we can get there. Hold on. Let's take a look together, chat. So we aren't quite done. Wait, which one is it? What is this called? Unknown.png. That sounds like this one. Oh, wait, it's not there. Wait, what the fuck? Alright. Let's turn that on. Let's make it big. I mean, what I've learned here is there's a whole nother creature in between his legs. And oh look, we can actually make out more of his head now. There's a second set of tusks up there. So we got this thing and another set of tusks and a mouth up there. The mystery deepens. The more we learn, the less we know. I think we need to fund a study on the behavior of the Elder Gargareth. Okay. You saw a massive cock? Yeah, I mean, there is like a whole series of things that are about seeing what your mind, what you personally want to see, and then kind of like the implications of that. So, I mean, do with that knowledge what you will. Are we ever gonna turn 2, turn 3, turn 5? Do we? I mean, blue is so cheap for us to fix, but like, is it worth it? A lot of the time, we just don't have a blue source, and we don't care. He's a nice 4-drop to draw some fucking cards. I mean, Sultai for card advantage has been a thing for forever. David Attenborough narrating our Gargara study would be sick. I would get, if I could get some David, I mean, there's no way I could afford that, but like I'd get some David Attenborough like fucking narration voices on my channel for some way, like in the same way we have the Darkest Dungeon kind of voices would be amazing. We could even get it like playing a clip of that. Dude, think how smart we could be with this clip playing thing. Like we could have that. Like we cast some exotic beast and we just have like a brief David Attenborough like fucking narration pop up. Like that'd be amazing.